Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Art of Creation Homestead. My name is Jason, and I'm going out here to check on my chickens, but at the same time, I kind of want to talk about something that people may not be familiar with. If you're a new chicken keeper, you may not be familiar with this at all. Some of you seasoned veterans might be, but these girls right here, pecking order is real. Pecking order is legitimately something that is like a social hierarchy, okay, or in social order that goes on inside of every flock. There's so many things that happen amongst these chickens that you just wouldn't realize. It's just part of their natural social order. See this girl right here? She's the boss, okay? She is what's called the alpha female, all right? She is a 9-year-old Jersey black giant, or black Jersey giant, would actually be technical the way to put it. But her name is, see, she's not scared. Her name is Purdy, and she is not scared. Tootie, however, is talkative, but she is not scared of anything. She determines everything inside this flock. She's very talkative right now, and she's very healthy, you see her, okay? But she is everything to this flock. I'll get out of the coop so you can hear me for a minute. But as the alpha, the leader. Now you see, we do not have a rooster, so the social order will be different if you have a rooster involved, okay? But because we don't have a rooster, she's the boss. She runs this coop. If there's a fight, she breaks it up. If there's problems, she gets in the middle of it. If there's a hawk that flies over, she alerts them and pushes them all in the back, get them safe. She's everything. Even though they're safe in here, she still alerts them, pushes them out. If there's an owl flies over, which we've had happen, she puts them in there. If there's a skunk, which we've had a skunk in the yard, they alert, she gets them inside. She is the leader, protector, the big mama. She's the boss. I'll try to come back in here. But now many times you'll know which one that is because the chickens, the other hens, will give her an alpha salute, okay? It's hard to mimic that because I'm a human, but you'll see them kind of raise their wings up as she walks by, okay? They'll kind of raise their wings up, and then she walks by. It's like they're saying, hey, all right, boss, see ya. You know, imagine in an army, somebody saluting an officer as the officer walks by. Be something similar. Now, you'll have to see them all do that to her, and she'll have to get her way. It's kind of, but she's obviously the boss. Now, there's several other things that go on inside the coop that some people might mistake for chickens being mean or being bullies. And it's just, okay, it might be a form of bullying amongst your chickens, but it's something that's got to happen because it establishes the pecking order, the top to the bottom.
Tootie.
When they're at the feeder, you might notice a chicken peck the other one in the head to get them out of their spot. They want that spot. They're showing dominance over that chicken. Peck them in the head, get off my food spot. If they're eating out a spot in the yard, they'll do the same thing. If they're going to the water, they might do the same thing. They might be fighting over a nesting box. Okay, if they're fighting, they get in there and just kind of force the other one out. It's what they do. They fight over roost space because they want to be at a certain spot in the roosting. Okay, if you have in a better roosting system, we would redo this one if we could. But in a better roosting system, we'll have bars established higher up, and the top dogs, top chickens, go to the top. Here's an interesting one right here. See, watch them. Watch Sweetness clean Purdy. See, she's cleaning her feathers. She's taking care of the leader. You know, those two have been together a long time. They're both 9 years old. We only have 3 left from our original flock. So they actually have established a very deep friendship. And that kind of friendship does get established inside the coop, inside these flocks. They do build this social order, friendships. Who's the boss? Who's the lowest on the totem pole, right? It really does happen. And when it does happen, a lot of times people want to punish their chickens, all right? They're not a dog. They don't have the same, they're not your child. They don't have that same understanding. There's not just something you can just punish them and say, hey, stop doing that. Bad girl, bad girl. All these things are necessary to establish a healthy flock. You don't realize that, but the social order is very important inside of your flock. It's the same as like having a well-established set of guidelines, rules, we'll say government, you know, in our normal society. You need You need that. You need people who like enforce the law, we'll say, right? And that kind of happens in there, is Purdy establishes that law enforcement, and she keeps everything in order. Now, a really good rooster will probably do a much better job of that, be honest with you. Purdy does a fine job. She's been really good. But a really good rooster is probably the best way to go if you're looking for that. But that's about all they can do for you if you're not looking to reproduce. So, like, Purdy does a great job, though, and it's all we really need inside of this coop, because they're well protected, they're well taken care of, we take care of all that. But there's also going to be a beta female. So you have the alpha, right, leader. There's also a beta, second in command. Oftentimes you'll find that the beta comes in a supportive role, okay? While she's not the alpha, she's not the boss, she is a boss, right? And so she supports the flock and how things operate. If Purdy is broody, or she's setting on eggs, which for no reason our eggs won't hatch. We don't have a rooster. But if Purdy goes broody, which she does every year, she didn't last year maybe, but then the beta kind of takes over. Now it is a little social chaos in a way, but the beta is then boss. And like recently, we've had to deal with that social order changing a little bit. Our original beta had died, so we had another one step up. Now we have another one who wants to be beta. It's this little blue one down here. She wants to be beta. She wants to be boss. And they're next in line. So like if something happens to Purdy, she's 9 years old. If she dies, well, she looks really healthy, but then the beta takes over. So there's a lot of, and it will drastically affect your flock, by the way, because they know social order and they understand who's who, and they want to make sure that they all keep their place too. Another thing you might find happen is that, like, if you have a chicken who's weak, sick, old, just not in good health. We actually have two of those that are actually old and just not in the best health. They're probably going to die soon. They tend to get picked on because chickens don't really want to show weakness. Okay, that's one thing about if you have a chicken get injured, she may not show it because she doesn't want to show her weakness, because they will attack her. She will lose her place in society, right? And so these older ones that are weaker, the younger ones that we have that are trying to establish their place in the flock, they know they're weaker. They know those two are old and weak, and they are picking on them. It just happens. I won't show you that because nobody needs to see chickens get picked on. But so they're picking on them to try and establish their own social order, or trying to establish their own place in the social order. And often what happens is if, let's just say when they're trying to establish social order, now you see here, we have 3 generations of chickens all drinking out of the water together because they've established their social order. They're all well established in their place, so there's no fighting over that. And like the young one, this one right here, she had to get there, that one right there, the red one, she had to get there by getting picked on and enduring that. She had to just keep going, and not cower down, because if she cowered down, they would continue to pick at her, and then she would be low and have a low social status and zero respect amongst the flock, by the way. And she wouldn't be able to eat very well, stay in a nest box, get drinking out of the water, anything without getting picked on. Again, those are things that have to happen, and you can't step in there. There's no sitting your chicken in a timeout, putting her in the corner, putting her in a timeout chair. It just doesn't work. You get a timeout. You get a timeout. Yes, you do. So when you see this happen, when you see these things go on, don't worry. Now, if it gets really bad and one of them's bleeding, okay, you need to step in, because if you didn't know, those chickens are vicious. They see blood, they'll attack them even more, and then they will kill that chicken because they see the blood. They just can't. They see the blood, they're bloodthirsty, okay? They're cannibalistic, it's real. But when you see it happen, don't worry about it. Try not to intervene, okay? Allow the social order to take its toll, almost, to run its course, because they need that. They need these things to establish a good, healthy flock. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. My name is Jason. This is Art of Creation Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.